Hello everybody and welcome to my first workbook video of the Preptober season. This is the 2021 Preptober Workbook. To be honest, I'm not really sure how I'm going to structure these videos yet. I might do like a series of videos as I work through the entire workbook. I might jump around a little bit and then share specific videos for specific spreads. We'll just kind of see how this is going to go. So if you are interested in the Preptober Workbook, the 2021 Preptober Workbook, you can get a little bit of a sneak peek at some of these pages while I work my way through them. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned in my Preptober Workbook video, like my little reveal, which will be linked down below, I did get mine bound. It has like the spiral binding here, and it does have a plastic cover that goes over it to protect it, but it's just too reflective on the camera, so I don't have that on here. So this is 80 pages. I think last year's workbook was like 65, 70, somewhere around there. So I did add definitely some pages and some content to this workbook. Let's go ahead and dive right in and get started. So I'm not going to go over every single page. This isn't really a walkthrough. I just want to start working on my workbook so that I can figure out what the heck I'm going to write for NaNoWriMo because it's still undecided. So I'm not really going to go through all of this, welcome page and such. Got a little table of contents. Don't need this page until actual NaNoWriMo. Master to-do list. All right, let's just start filling some stuff out. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what the heck I'm writing. And then from there, once I figure out what I'm writing, something else I want to do is get some research material. Whenever I'm writing a new book, I really like having research material. Even if it's a fantasy, I like to have research material because it helps me plot and build and develop my worlds. So I do have a couple ideas right now for stories that I might want to write. It's still undecided if I'll be working on Whiskey City, which is the second book in my Pistol Daisy world, or if I'm gonna write something totally different. Okay, sorry, I had to take a little break there and close my window. I got a bunch of research material for Song of the Dryad, definitely research material for Pistol Daisy, and I have a couple of ideas. If I decide to go like a totally new story in order to just get back into writing, since it's been over a year since I wrote anything for myself, then I do have a couple ideas for things that I want to write about and that I've wanted to write about for a long time. So first off, I have to figure out what I'm writing and get research material. Of course, I want to create an outline. If I write Whiskey City, I'm going to have to, that is a terrible R, reread Pistol Daisy, go through my series Bible. I use Campfire, by the way. I'll link them down below. If you need like a program to build your series Bible, let them know I sent you. Go through my series Bible. Honestly, if I work on Whiskey City, I have so much more I have to do. I'd have to go through my outline / finish my outline because when I stopped writing, like right before I moved into that old apartment, I was working really hard on the Whiskey City outline, and it was coming together so well. And then Greg and I moved and work got really busy and I just stopped working on it. But I know that outline is close to being done. So no matter what, I have to figure out what I'm writing, get more research material. Even if I write Whiskey City, I'll need research material. Create an outline. That would be for a totally new book. And then if I do decide to work on Whiskey City, I need to reread Pistol Daisy, go through my series Bible, go through my outline and finish my outline, and probably reread what I have for Whiskey City currently, because I'm actually on the third draft. And to be honest, because I'm on the third draft of Whiskey City, it doesn't feel like it would be a smart decision to write it for NaNoWriMo because I don't want to rush it and I don't want to feel pressured to write 50,000 words for that third draft because I've already worked quite hard on it. So even just thinking about that makes me want to just dive into NaNoWriMo with a totally fresh, totally different story just to get start working on writing again and to like get my feet under me because I haven't written in so long that I'm a little bit scared and nervous now. And I do have a little like story in the beginning of the workbook talking about that. Of course, I've been editing like crazy and working on other people's projects and learning so much about storytelling along the way. But helping somebody else to tell the best story they can and telling my own stories, totally different. Totally different. So I'm definitely nervous. But there are some things on my master to-do list. And then, of course, here we have daily planner. If I decide to go this route, which I don't think I will, if I decide to go this route, I will have to fill this out so that I can really schedule what I need to do every single day. But for now, until I figure out what I'm going to be working on, I'm going to skip these daily planning pages because I don't yet know what I need to do. All right, next up we have a live stream tracker. And even though this is for NaNoWriMo, I'm actually going to hop onto YouTube real fast and find a couple people just in my subscriptions. And I'm sure that there are so many more people. So if I don't see you or your live stream for some reason, it's probably just not popping up on my phone. So I just have seen a couple popping up on my phone. I'm going to write down some of the like Preptober live streams because it would be really fun to dive in and join people with Preptober live streams. So I'm going to hop on my phone and look some of those up, and then I will be right back to fill this out. Okay, so I went through my YouTube, and I honestly guess I have forgotten how to use YouTube because I cannot find, look, that's Bethany's post on Instagram, and it's totally following her face. There's a little like box on my camera around Bethany's face. Anyway, I was not able to find any upcoming Preptober live streams, and I really wanted to fill that out. So I'm actually going to post on my Instagram. I'm going to ask people if they have any upcoming Preptober live streams, and then I will probably come back and fill this in at a later date and hopefully film that. So I'm going to go ahead and post that. I really don't like how Instagram has like changed how to do all this. I do not like it. How do I change the color of this? Oh my gosh, are you serious? I struggle with this so much now. It's not even funny. I really, really struggle with Instagram nowadays. I used to be good at it. Let's put some fall leaves in there. Okay, and then I have to add a question. Let's move that up, move this up, move this up. All right, there. We finally have an Instagram post. Okay. Now that I've posted that, if people start responding, then I'll be able to fill out my live stream tracker. But for now, let's move on. All right, we have a word count calendar and a word sprint tracker. I don't need that yet. Self-care bingo. Heck yes. Let's fill out self-care bingo. So the whole idea of this page is to fill out things you can do to take care of yourself, refill your creative well, stuff like that during NaNoWriMo. And then every time you achieve one, you color it in. And then when you get a bingo, you reward yourself. I'm going to start filling this out and we'll just see how far we get. I haven't really thought ahead, but let's try to figure out what I can do to take care of myself during NaNoWriMo. Oh my gosh, it is so hard to think up this many things to fill out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 so far. Okay, I have to keep working. I will be back very soon. Okay, so I finished my self-care bingo, and what I did was I actually doubled or tripled up on a few of the things that I know are good for me and I know make me feel good. So one of those things is face masks. They help my skin and they just make me feel luxurious and like I'm taking care of myself, and I love that, and I don't do it very often. So I put face mask on here a couple of times. I put yoga on here a couple of times. I haven't done yoga in quite a while now, and my body feels it. I'm definitely very stiff and sore, and I need to stretch more often. Oh, we have a little barn kitty. I don't think I've mentioned this, but when we bought this house and moved in here, it came with a barn kitty, and we named her Sasha. She didn't have a name before, and she's coming across the pasture right now. I see her coming in for dinner, so I'm gonna have to go feed her here soon. Okay, so we have yoga on there. Meditate is another one that I put on here a few times. Meditating always makes me feel better. I have not done it in a very long time. So I put meditate on here a couple of times. Watch a Disney movie. I love Disney movies. They make me feel inspired and happy, and I put that on here. Watch a documentary. I'm obsessed with documentaries. I like documentaries way more than actual shows and movies, especially if I could find a documentary regarding something that I'm writing about. I would really like to do that. So it's like you're having a good time and doing some research. Watch a documentary. I said take a full day off. I put a couple of those on here. I just recently hit the point where I took a full weekend off this past weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I didn't work at all, and it literally blew my mind how good it was for me. I loved it. So I have a couple of those on here, take a full day off. There are a few like drink coffee on the porch, drink coffee and listen to music on the porch, drink a cup of golden milk. Golden milk, it's like this turmeric date anti-inflammatory health blend, and I put it into warm oat milk. Absolutely delicious. Color a picture, have some tea, watch some YouTube, play some, Stardew Valley. So some of the things on here will help me get inspired for writing, like watching documentary, watching a Disney movie, listening to my playlist. That kind of stuff will help me during NaNoWriMo in terms of getting inspired. Other stuff like doing a face mask, coloring a picture, like in an adult coloring book, taking a day off, watching YouTube, playing Stardew Valley. That kind of stuff, it's not meant to inspire me. It's not meant to encourage me to write. Although if I watch YouTube, it'll definitely, AuthorTube will encourage me to write. But those things are just about relaxing, refilling my creative well so that I can return to writing feeling rested and rejuvenated. So there is my self-care bingo page. Pretty excited about that. Let's go ahead and turn it over. Setting goals. Oh my gosh. Honestly, what are my goals? Let's say my goal is I'd say my biggest goal right now is to start writing again. And some little steps along the way would be obviously I'm going to start writing again, but it feels daunting. So something would be to decide on a story, outline said story, and then probably, decide on a story, outline that story. And then something for like inspiration that would help encourage me to start writing again is to compile a playlist. So these are definitely some things that I am going to do before I start writing again for November. And I know that by doing these things, these like small actionable steps to get to this big goal, it'll help me just feel prepared when November 1st arrives and I have to actually start writing a book again. I'm definitely terrified, but I'm gonna push through it. Okay. Here we go. This is one of my favorite pages. My writing routines and my writing schedule and writing rituals. So this page, these next two pages, are meant to help you craft a realistic writing routine and a realistic writing schedule. Now, of course, NaNoWriMo is very different because it's 1 month. We're trying to write 50,000 words, and it's fun to strive for that, right? So it's going to be a little different than your average everyday life and writing schedule, but it can still help to figure out realistically what time you actually have for yourself. So the questions on here are, how often do you want to write? What time? Well, you know what? How about this? Instead of going through this and reading you every single question, I'm going to read you the question and answer it for myself, and then we're going to flip the page, fill out my writing schedule, and kind of see how much time I actually have to dedicate to writing in November. So, how often do you want to write? I'm going to fill this out as if it's my average day-to-day life because I want to get back into writing. I don't want it to just be a November thing. So how often do you want to write? I'm going to say 3 days a week. That would be really, really healthy for me. Okay, 3 days a week is how often I want to write. What time of day are you most creative? That's super easy. That's early morning. As the day goes on, I lose my steam as the day goes on. I lose my creativity, and by the time 5 or 6 o'clock rolls around, I'm usually ready to just make dinner and relax. So early morning is definitely my most creative time of day. What time do you wake up during the week and on weekends? During the week, we do have 2 horses, and I consistently set my alarm for sunrise. So I get up at sunrise so that I have light outside when I need to go outside and feed them. So right now, what time is sunrise? Let me look it up. Sunrise is 7:02 a.m. So I'm going to say And honestly, this applies to the week and the weekends. The weekends I don't turn on an alarm. The week, Monday through Friday, I have an alarm. So I'm gonna say like somewhere between 7 and 7:30 during the week, and then usually between 7 and 8 on the weekends. I've mostly, like, my body is mostly trained to just wake up around 7 o'clock, even if my alarm doesn't go off. But like this past weekend, I slept in until like 7:45, which was pretty late for me to sleep in on the weekend because of course I like to get up and get the horses fed. So during the week, 7 and 7:30, weekends 7 and 8. What time do you go to bed during the week and on weekends? Usually, honestly, usually between 10 and 11, both during the week and on weekends. I'm not really a night person, so I tend to go to bed between 10 and 11. What are your work hours or hours you're unavailable? So Monday through Friday, my work hours are typically 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then of course on weekends, I'm totally free. I try not to ever schedule anything for weekends because I need time off and time to just, be and do what I want. So these are work hours and hours that I am typically unavailable. What are you willing to give up to make time for writing? Probably, gosh, at this point in the mornings, I'm playing a lot of Stardew Valley. It's like my morning routine after I feed the horses and pour a cup of coffee. So I would say morning Stardew Valley sessions. Maybe I can just like shift my Stardew Valley playing sessions to like the evening when I'm tired and I don't want to write anyway. So I would definitely be willing to give that up. What are you not willing to give up for writing? My sanity. So my sanity, and then what else am I not willing to give up? Of course, I won't give up at least like a day off because like I previously mentioned, I just recently this past weekend was able to take a full weekend off. And I really need it. Like, even if I can just take a Sunday off during the week, I really need that time to rest and rejuvenate myself. So I need to schedule at least one day off per week where there is no writing, there is no work, there's no obligations. I just get to do whatever I want. So now that I've filled this out, I'm going to turn the page and I'm going to fill out my writing schedule. So if you have the Preptober workbook, the first thing you'll want to do is color code these boxes up here. So I have work, sleep, write, relax. I'm working, I'm sleeping, I'm writing, I'm relaxing. Or I guess I could just say like day off. Day off, or I think that's good. Relax, that will kind of apply to anything where I'm not doing these things. So we're just gonna go through here real quick and color code these. Okay, work. What time do I work? Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Here's Monday. And during NaNoWriMo, I scheduled a little bit of time off from work. I have not taken any time off from work in years. Like literally years. So I scheduled 2 weeks off to focus on NaNoWriMo, but I don't want to build a writing schedule around having 2 weeks off because it's not realistic, because I don't take 2 weeks off just randomly. So this is really going to be based on my average everyday day-to-day life, not my random 2 weeks off during NaNoWriMo. So that's something to consider. All right, this is gonna take a lifetime to color. I was trying to go all pretty at first, and then I realized that there were like 5 billion boxes to fill in. So we're just gonna scribble now. Woohoo, okay, that is super uneven. But there are my work. Oh my gosh, you can really see how uneven that is. Woo-hoo-hoo. Anyway, there are my work hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now my sleep hours. Let's make those this pretty gray blue because it reminds me of rest and sleeping for some reason. So I said I usually wake up between 7 and 7:30 during the week. So I'm gonna say I wake up at 7 and I go to bed at 10 during the week. So 10 to 12 here. This is during the week. Okay, so there's that, and then I sleep until I usually get up at 7. Okay, there's my very unevenly colored sleep schedule during the week. And then during the weekend, what did I say? I usually get up between 7 and 8, and I usually go to bed. So I'll say I go to bed at 11 and get up at 8. And of course, this isn't perfect. This is just on average what I tend to do. This isn't about setting like a hard and fast schedule for myself. It's more about understanding the time that I'm actually available so that I'm not trying to overcommit to something that's unrealistic given my schedule in life. All right, there is my sleep schedule. So day off, I'm gonna say is yellow, and I'm going to attempt to just always take Sunday off. So if I'm not sleeping, I'm taking the day off, unless like if there's maybe a live stream or something that I really want to attend that I'm just excited about, I can, totally do that. But otherwise, I want to be taking at least one day a week off, and Sunday tends to be the day that I take off. It's the kind of day where you just want to sit on the couch and play Stardew for 5 hours straight. So that's what I'm gonna do. So there's my day off on Sunday. Maybe I should honestly schedule Saturdays off as well. Let's just see. So we're gonna make writing purple because purple is my favorite color. Now I know, let's go ahead and make relax pink because we'll have to kind of figure this out together. So I know that I don't like writing in the evenings. So really this only leaves, like when I wake up, I then need an hour to feed the horses, prepare the coffee, wake my mind up. So I'm gonna say from 7 to 8, especially if I wake up at like 7:30, then 7:30 to 8 is feeding the horses, getting some coffee, getting myself together. So I'm gonna put that there. So that means from 8 to 9, realistically from 8 to 9 before I start work for the day, I could do some writing. I'm curious actually to look back on the one that I did for last year. I didn't end up participating in Nano last year, but I did fill out this little schedule. So here's to see what that looks like. So I could write for an hour before work. I don't think it's realistic to say I'm going to write after work because it's just not really who I am. I really do not feel very creative in the evenings. So I'm going to say this is my true block of relaxation is after work is done. By this time I'm probably hangry. I'm probably, lying on the floor begging Greg to make me something for dinner. So we're just going to say this is my relaxation time. This is where I eat and watch movies and, hang out with the horses and just do what I want. During the week at least, and then we'll look at Saturday. On Saturdays, let's say I give myself, do I want to give myself an hour to relax? Probably not, because if I do that, if I start relaxing on a Saturday morning, okay, look, we'll do this because I still have to feed the horses. Unless Greg feeds them, he feeds them too, it's not just me. I feed the horses, make the coffee, stuff like that. But from there, I could spend a few hours writing. So what if I wrote from 9 a.m., like 9 to 12? On a Saturday? That sounds cozy, doesn't it? Like during the winter, just like cozying up on a Saturday morning. My markers are officially dying. I've had these for years and I just noticed this week that they're going out. So there, I could have a little bit of writing time, like 3 hours on a Saturday morning. And then honestly, from there, it's going to be relaxation. So here is my absolute messy writing schedule. I wish I had done it like this. Let's pretend I colored it like that. So that is my writing schedule, which means technically I could write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. But looking back here, I only want to write 3 days a week. So I think even if I wrote like every other day, or I wrote like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because Mondays are super busy for me, and honestly, I probably should have thought about that here. Mondays are really busy because I have most of my admin work on Monday because emails pile up over the weekends. So Monday is super busy. So that might not actually be a good day for writing, just because I know that I'll be thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many emails I need to get to and a lot of stuff to do. So maybe even like Tuesday through Saturday would be the best time for me to try to dedicate to writing. So this is definitely helpful. I'm glad I did this. I kind of wish I had never pulled this out to see how beautiful this is, because now this is just an absolute mess. But there is my writing schedule tentatively for NaNoWriMo, and just for writing, not just for NaNoWriMo, but for writing in general. Writing rituals. Okay, so I think I'm starting to lose light here. I don't know if you can tell on the video. I am starting to lose a little bit of light. Sun's going down. It is 6:30 and I'm gonna go head off and make some dinner. So I got a good start on my workbook. I'm going to continue filming videos as I work through this and just kind of sharing my prepping for Preptober. I need to get a lot of ideas. Like I'm gonna fill this out, the basics of your good book page. We'll fill this out in the next video. I have an example here, and this is still all relevant to me and to what I really like in a good book and a good story, a game, a movie, etc. But I think I'm going to go ahead and fill this out again, kind of talk you through the process, what I'm thinking, so that you have a bit of like, I don't know, hands-on example when it comes to filling out the basics of your good book page. And this will also help me when it comes to brainstorming new ideas, because this is where the real development of a potential new story starts, is the brainstorming new ideas page. So I'm a little bit intimidated for this page, but we're going to get to it. And then from there, there's 2 pages for brainstorming. From there, I will narrow it down into 3 ideas. I have probably 3 or 4 ideas right now that I'm bouncing around in my head. So once I start brainstorming, I'll be able to narrow that down. And from there, we'll do the what's your book about pages, develop a premise for each story, and then create a mood, playlist, etc. From here I have to pick a story. So after I fill out the premise for every single book, from there I will select a book that I'm going to work on for NaNoWriMo, and then start creating a mood, crafting that, the tone, the feel that I want to convey in the story, build the playlist, because of course you have to know what you're writing if you're going to build a playlist around it, and just start going from there. So writing rituals is probably where we are going to pick up next time. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what some of your favorite pages are in the workbook if you're using it. Also, let me know if there are any specific pages you'd like me to walk you through or fill out so that you can see an example of how to do so. If you don't have a workbook and want to get one, I will link it down below. It's donation based. You go on my website, click the button that says add to cart, add your donation, click the checkout button, and then you will be able to download the workbook. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having an absolutely wonderful Preptober. I'm very much looking forward to NaNoWriMo, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!